What is up, everybody? As you guys can see here, me and Justin have apparently swapped roles for one night.
Everything is upside down.
Yes, it is. We're here to talk about, obviously, Bama with another struggle win. Can I say it any louder? 20-9 against LSU. But I want to play one real quick clip before we get into it. It basically puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win.
We won. I get it. We won.
I'm excited. We have it within our budget now to have sound effects. We are moving up, folks. Your favorite post-game show now has sound effects. Give me a like and subscribe for that.
Yeah, there we go, guys. We're going to be talking about some good stuff here today. We're going to be talking about positive, negatives, player of the games, all that great stuff. But we need to know what you guys' opinions are. So make sure to leave in the comments what you guys thought about this game, because I don't know how Bama fans are going to take my perspective from this game, because I'm tired of talking about it week after week after week. But either way, initial reaction, exactly, Justin, with the banners here on point. Literally, your initial reaction for Alabama beating LSU 20-9.
We should have beat them up by a far wider margin. My initial reaction is, what do we do in our week off? I was really looking for Alabama to show that there was a separation between them and all the other people standing outside of the playoff rankings. When you are a playoff team or considered a playoff team, you're supposed to play a cut above. Your play is supposed to be another tier. Tonight, I did not see that. And we just looked so unprepared. We looked lost, and we couldn't get out of our own way. It looked as if we started to turn things around towards the close of the first half with the touchdown drive. So you obviously thinking, okay, we can breathe a little bit now going into the half, and LSU surely is defeated. They've got the wind knocked out of their sails, only to come out in the second half and put on an utter crap show. Obviously, it goes without saying, Ty Simpson was not on tonight. He just could not connect with his receivers. A lot of the same problems we've been having week after week through all these games continue to resurface. And Johnathan, quite frankly, it's very frustrating. I do want to say one positive thing. Happy birthday to London Simmons.
Yes.
Just turned 19, and instead of us giving him gifts, he was giving Alabama gifts tonight. Huge plays, especially there towards the end of the game, that really put us in position to put this away. Finally, very proud of him. But Johnathan, I'm just scratching my head because I don't understand what we saw on the field against South Carolina. You expected it, right? We hit a wall. We were playing great ball through those weeks, being top 15 opponents, and you just felt that there was going to be that struggle game. But it always happens at some point, and it's just before the bye week. So you do it, you get advanced to that bye week with the win. Things are good, but I just expected better, Johnathan. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So my instant reaction is very, very simple. And let me go up here, and I have to credit Ty Simpson Burner because I think he nailed it. Alabama is very consistent at being inconsistent. That's one thing, and I just want to throw that out there real quick. My initial reaction from this is we once again play with our food. We once again cannot step on the throat, right, in a sense, and just put a team away. We continue to struggle. We continue to turn the ball over. The little bit of times we do turn the ball over, we turn the ball over in weird situations. It's like we can finally put this game away. We should hit this field goal. We should do these things that we've been doing all game, but now all of a sudden it just kind of falls apart. And once again, I'm going to keep reiterating it, guys. If it's not fixed by game 10, it's not going to be fixed by the rest of this. We can't run the ball. So let's do one thing as Bama fans. Let's stop asking Alabama to run the ball, because when we even attempt to run the ball, we're no good at it. Daniel Hill is probably the most consistent running the ball, in my opinion, so far I've seen this year. Just because he goes north and south, he stops dancing around. Even if it's only 3 or 4 yards, he still gets us 3 or 4 yards. But even then, guys, we average. Let me bring up the stats real quick. when it
Travis,
comes to that.
2.2 yards per carry, Jonathan.
Thank you. There we go. And
Oh,
LSU
56 yards.
it's abysmal, right? We should be able to run the ball against LSU a little bit, especially considering we can stretch the field with Lottie Brooks back, right? With Ryan Williams, with Isaiah Horton, with Cuevas doing Cuevas things now, and we consistently cannot do it. So my initial reaction is I am so tired of saying we should be able to beat teams and put them away when we can't. We've proven now we cannot do that, right? Everybody wants to point to the Tennessee game, so we won by 17 points. They had more yards than us. That was that score is very misleading. That was a lot closer game than the score interprets. The Vandy game, the South Carolina game, outside of Louisiana Monroe, what have we done? Georgia, we struggled. It doesn't matter. We play up to the competition just as much as we play down to the competition. That's one thing I can tell you so far as a Bama fan from what I'm seeing from this team. So this season, plain and simple. So,
and Jonathan, it's not like that we are being out schemed or out coached. We just couldn't get out of our own way. So it wasn't like that. The thing is, if LSU had any sense whatsoever and they weren't committing penalties or doing things to shoot themselves in the foot, the score looks way different. I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to call it like it is. We were outplayed by them, but every time they take 2 steps forward, they do something to go back 5 steps. Thank you for the gifts. We appreciate that. But my gosh, how many more games are we going to play with our food and escape by the skin of our teeth? There's going to be a point to where that luck runs out.
Yep.
And it may be next week against Oklahoma.
But man, I'm telling you right now, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, if I'm Oklahoma, I'm licking my chops. I really am, because everybody Alabama has faced so far, in my opinion, has been pretty damn one-dimensional to a certain extent. Oklahoma is kind of one-dimensional in that offense, but their defense is for real. Well, we know we're going against the last two games, not last two literally, but Oklahoma is going to have a serious defense. Auburn has a real defense. This can turn around on us really quick if we don't figure some things out. But before we move on to the next section, let me shout out some people in this comment section before we move on here. They'll be Roll Tide, Sweet Home, Bama 24, Roll Tide. Says defense showed up, offense sloppy, DeBoer and Grubb got to figure this out. Non-existent run game. It's not going to be figured out, in my opinion, because if it was to be figured out, we're in week 10 or week 11 this week. Yeah, week 11 going into week 12. It should have already been figured out. It's not going to get figured out, in my opinion. We just don't have a run game, plain and simple. Win is win. We won. No doubt about it.
We won. Congratulations. That allows you to move on. But at the end of the day, when you continue to play like crap, what's going to happen in that pivotal moment?
Yep. And
when everything is on the line.
Damon's got a point. Ty better get his stuff together. 3 fumbles in 3 games. He's definitely becoming turnover prone, believe it or not.
To that point, though, Jonathan, there are going to be games where Ty does get on the struggle bus. But we got to be able to run the ball and take all the pressure off of him. He doesn't make those mistakes if he has the confidence in knowing that the guys around him and the entire offense is working to his favor. I don't understand why Ryan Grubb is viewed as one of the greatest offensive minds in the game today, but you cannot run the damn ball.
No, I got you. Cody Stevens with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that.
Sir.
The defense is winning these games. The second half offense is going to end up screwing us. And that is a consistent theme, Cody, literally game after game after game. The defense, I hate to say, everybody wanted to scrutinize Kane Womack at the beginning of last year in this 4-2-5. And by the way, I'm definitely criticizing it. But at the end of the day, Yanzi Pierre and this defense, London Simmons and these guys, they're making plays on that defense to keep us in these games for sure. That maybe we wouldn't be in some of these games. I wouldn't say not be in them, but they'd be a lot closer than what they are, which is, I don't know how much tighter you want it. Roll Tide till I die, Bama Standard family. James Knox, appreciate it, brother. He said, Don Parker. He said, do you have a sound effect for inconsistency? Yeah, I do. You ready for it?
And I'm going to tell you what, if I had a barometer up your ass to say whether you were giving effort or not, it was about 50%.
There you go. If you wanted a sound effect, that's probably it. Hopefully you're pleased with that one.
I actually blame Tyler Siskey for tonight. I don't know if you caught his recent show, but he said Alabama is going to win big, and he put emphasis on the word big. I wanted to call him during the game. I was like, you right now, sir, are the reason this is happening. You put a curse on us. Nah, but shout out to Tyler Siskey.
Yeah, Big Bama didn't see. Yeah, see, it's the same theme over and over again. And Coach Carl here, Bama's lost. Me and him, we're texting as well. You know, and Coach Al, shout out to all of them. The inconsistencies with this team is actually getting worse as we're moving along. The championship teams don't get worse through the season, or they don't stay doing the same damn thing. They improve on something. Something looks better week after week. And this team, in my opinion, outside of Yanze Pierre, and all of a sudden getting a rush, or not a rush, a pass rush, which I'm not going to credit too much of that. LSU's offensive line is not good.
No.
So as much as I want to give credit to that D-line, you played a very mediocre offensive line. Let's get that straight.
And Greg McElroy was correct. He said the only reason LSU lost this game is up front. The offensive line was no good.
And you know people are going to be pointing this out. Obviously, why is Wilkenformy starting at right tackle?
The only thing positive he did was catching that ball that was deflected in the air and getting some positive yards. That's probably the best thing he's done all season.
Lynn, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you. We put work in on the O-line this week, and it didn't look great at all. We just can't run the ball. It's going to cost us when we get in the playoffs. We don't need bye weeks. You're right. You're absolutely correct. We don't need bye weeks. We need things to look better, because clearly coming off of bye weeks, by the way, we don't look better. So when we start the year, we don't look good, and then off bye weeks, we don't look better.
Can we just not use the word playoffs right now? Because honestly, each game right now, it's in doubt just based on how we're playing.
Yeah, no, and you guys got some great comments in here, so make sure to keep those coming. Yeah, we got some good motivation though. Yeah, watch the whole game. That's your motivation in a sense, because you do have the positives from that defensive line, like I said. And I'll be honest with you, there was times tonight where I was excited. I was like, okay, we're hitting hard. We're not just doing little things better. We're not all of a sudden seeing intensity. In my opinion, we haven't seen from that defense all season. That one where we had to pin back and we hit him a couple times, Justin, I was texting him like, dude, I haven't seen this all year.
It was an absolute work of beauty in the first half. I'm looking at here just bewildered about what I was seeing. They were teeing off, and there was just no hope of LSU advancing the ball. It's like we knew every play before they even called it. It was absolutely amazing. But then in the second half, things drastically changes, and I am so tired of us getting eaten alive in space. What's happening to our secondary? Were they overrated, dare I say? And now we faced a somewhat decent offense. We got lost, and we just got exposed a little bit. But then again, you can't just look at this game. You can look at the past few games. They're giving up way too much in space.
Yeah, we this defense has its flaws. There's no doubt about it. And we don't have the personnel across the board to run this defense correctly. I don't know. I'm not a coach, but I can tell you right now, Don Parker, thank you for the super chat. Does this team look like a playoff team? No, this team can't run the ball and dominate the line of scrimmage. This team is very inconsistent. And how are championships won? They're won in the trenches. Plain and simple. Like, I mean, and it's won in the trenches and on defense. So, I mean, that's not something that's hidden. Play AK Deer. Man, I don't think it matters who you put in the damn
really
game.
Doesn't. Right? If you're not getting any push, it's not going to matter who you throw back there.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we'll move on to the next segment. Justin, if you want to,
I guess we'll unveil that. And folks, continue to get your comments in. If you're over there on Twitter X, come over to our YouTube channel, the Bama Standard Network. Hit the like and subscribe. Become a part of our family. We always love to have company. And if you're watching the replay, get in the comment section below. Show us some love there. All right. Positives and negatives of the game.
Yeah. And by the way, before we jump into that XY perspective, just to address the setting at 8-1, complaining like we're 1-8. No, we're not complaining like we're 1-8. We're just complaining that we're not meeting the standard that we think the players and the coaching staff we have are setting to that point. I'm not asking them to win the national championship even this year. I'm just asking for a little bit of consistency and a little bit of improvement week to week. That's all I'm asking for. So, Justin, I'll let you start this off. Positives and negatives of this game that you took away from it.
Positives. Jan Pierre is an absolute dog. We've been begging for a closer. We got him. We just need a consistent defense as a whole. London Simmons, positive. Kid is outplaying his classification. He doesn't look like a freshman at times. And when big plays need to be made, he's making them. He's pushing guys back. He's bullying them. That's something you don't typically see from a 19-year-old. Typically, 19-year-olds don't have everything figured out the way that he does right now. I mean, the kid's just got it. Positive, of course, we won. You find a way to win despite how ugly you're playing, but you can't find a whole lot of satisfaction in it, right? Positives, I see flashes of greatness, but we can't quite grasp that. What's going to be the ultimate answer that makes everything just click? One thing I continue to say to you, Jonathan, every week is, when are we going to have that game where we play balance? When are we going to have that game where we dominate from start to finish? It's not that we're without talent. I mean, look at the recruiting rankings when we bring them in. So where are we falling flat? Are those guys just being misevaluated? Are those guys just not being developed? What's the ultimate answer? But the negatives, we're a broken record, Jonathan. We are a scratch CD because it's the same thing each and every week.
Yeah, no. So my positive, and look, there are a lot of positives to take away from this. Number one, we won the game. First of all, we did win the game. We are winning the games we're supposed to win.
Hey, John Talty got 2 huge field goals.
Exactly. So, Talty hit 2 field goals. We won the game. Ty Simpson is still, in my opinion, he is. I get it. We're not going to want to say he's progressing week to week because the kid has a lot of. No, he's not a kid. The dude has a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But right, without him throwing the way he's throwing, I don't know how many losses we have, but I can guarantee it's more than one. I can tell you that right now. If we're leaning on this run game versus Ty throwing the ball, we're in a lot of trouble. So I can say Ty is still most likely progressing in this offense. Ryan Grubb and these guys are still figuring out the rest of this personnel, right? So, I do have confidence that things will get a little bit better week to week. I'm not saying a lot. And another big one, a big country, Bama here, pointed it out. Positive, definitely penalties, right?
2.
So penalties.
All we have is 2 penalties.
And when you look at the team stats, we went 4-13. We're below our average, which is like 48% on third down. You know what I mean? So we only ran the ball for 56 yards. We won the game only averaging 2.2 yards, like you said, per carry. We did have 1 turnover total. They had 2. So we went +1. So now we're at +10 on the turnover margin, I believe, for the year. It's pretty much time of possession split. So we still have some positives to take away from this. And another one, like somebody else pointed out earlier, is that Kalen DeBoer is still undefeated at home. And that black hoodie is definitely proven to be the X factor this season, I guess.
Man, that hoodie is getting worked hard. I think the seams are starting to pop a little bit, but the magic's still in it. So keep wearing it.
And you know what? I will give a shout out to this because we didn't get gashed in the run game. We gave up one pretty big run. Outside of that, we were very consistent. And by the way, against those screens, tunnel screens and stuff like that, we were really good. We were really aggressive. Bray Hubbard and those guys, Jackson, you know what I mean? Like across the board, really, DeJohn Lee, these guys were up in these dudes' grill. They were fighting off blocks and getting to the receivers to make those tackles in the open space. So I was pretty impressed with that. So for the most part.
And we were meeting guys in the backfield for negative plays this time. Huge positive right there. And if there wasn't one guy there, there was more than one ready to corral the runner. So that's a huge positive.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Can I bring up one negative that you and I keep talking about?
Well,
enough of the cutesy plays, Ryan Grubb.
Yeah, absolutely. I will agree with that. I get it. We want these guys having fun, but you don't have to do it like on a 3rd and 2 where Bernard is throwing the ball across the field and everything else, you know what I mean? Like I get we want to have some fun, but let's not do it in critical situations. Let's do it when we're up a little bit, when we're ahead a little bit, then we'll work on that because it seems you know, it was good and fine when it works like everything else. Les Miles eating grass in the middle of the field at LSU while he's winning games. But the moment you're not winning those games, it becomes less funny. It was, like I said, it was cute, nice when we were winning the games and putting up a lot of points. Now we're not doing that. So all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more.
Can we talk about one thing that really is consistent, Jonathan? I don't think we give enough credit for the tight end play. It has been elevated tremendously this season, mainly because we're actually utilizing Josh Cuevas is one of the best tight ends in America that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb Edwards is going to be one of the best in America. Yep. He played a really good game, and he has a tendency to show up in moments where you're like, wow, okay, yeah, he's still here, and this kid's good. Yeah. But tight end play has really helped us tremendously, and I love seeing Cuevas on that wheel route. No one can contest that. If he's running that route, he's going to bring down the ball. So huge shout out, huge positive there. Love what we're seeing from him and the rest in that room.
Yeah, no doubt. And the great thing about having a tight end like Cuevas, Caleb Edwards, who's 6'6", like 225, 230 pounds, as a true freshman, by the way. And there's a reason why we're recruiting. We have 14 tight ends on the 2027 recruiting class board. There's a reason why we have so many tight ends on our boards for recruiting is because we're going to be utilizing them a lot under Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer's system. If you go back to Washington, even Fresno State, tight ends are a vital player as far as chip blocks, running down the seams, leak outs, stuff like that. You're going to see a lot more of that as this system progresses and the more you see them here. But yeah, no, 100%. The moment Cuevas gets far side with a linebacker on him, it's like Simpson goes to him every single time. Every time. But that's all I have for the positives and negatives. If we want to move on here to the very.
We do. And I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about one of our sponsors, Tidal Towel. Listen, your game day experience is not complete unless you have one of the most recognized Alabama memorabilia out there, and that is the Tidal Towel. What you need to do is go to www.whitwillsports.com today, and you enter the promo code STANDARD to get you a nice little discount courtesy of your favorite network, the Bama Standard Network. So make sure you have yours on hand as the Sooners try to boomer us next Saturday. Hopefully that won't happen, but we need the Tidal Towel just the same.
No doubt. And to get to a couple more of these comments before we move on here, Lynn, we are a horrible run team. I just don't feel like we're a playoff team right now. We just don't look great after 2 weeks on the bye. I got to be on the field tonight. Yeah, see, I got to be on the field tonight. We ran 3 counters. Missed blocks are terrible. Scoop blocks, this supposed to control the back end, by the way, are absolutely terrible. Absolutely disastrous. So I can see that on the TV, that we're just bad at it. And for the people that keep saying we just need to run the ball, we can't run the ball. We're not good at running the ball. We can't block. So plain and simple.
And Jonathan, I am guilty as anyone of turning a blind eye on Ryan Grubb's inability to be able to run the ball, because that's ultimately what got him fired from Seattle in the NFL this past season. But you think that, okay, you come to Alabama, things will be a little different. No, they're not. We have not had one game where we have shown any kind of dominance running the ball. We've only had one game where we've had a runner get 100 yards. Yep. I mean, did you ever think as an Alabama fan that you would ever see the day where Alabama could not run the damn ball? Dude, okay. Jonathan, I grew up watching Bobby Humphrey. I grew up watching Derek Lassick, Sherman Williams. I was at Alabama with Sean Alexander. I witnessed our first Heisman Trophy winner, Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy after him, along with Trent Richardson. And the list can go on and on. But now it's an afterthought. It's like the things with the grandfathers and mothers tell their grandchildren, well, back in my day, we were the most dominant school in the entire country when we ran the ball. Now we can't do shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it is that. I mean, look, I'm not going to say look back at those times because we're not that team. And guys, for the people that want to talk about this offensive scheme, guys, we were not running the ball effective under Nick Saban the last 3 years. Go back and look. No, was it this bad? No, but it was still on the decline big time.
But we were still effective when we had Jace McClellan. But as
Ew,
soon as he
a
was
little bit.
I thought he was a good back. I love that kid, blue collar dude. He's going to work hard.
I'm not saying
He,
that.
he's going to get hit, but he's going to grind, and you could always trust him with the ball.
Yeah. No, I got you, because it's not always on the back. You can have a great back. You can have a Derrick Henry, but if you have no O-line to help that, or if you have an ineffective QB that can't throw the ball and they're just going to stack the box or whatever that may look like, it doesn't matter, right? It's all got to come together, you know what I mean, in harmony. I mean, a good example of that's Justice Haynes before he got injured at Michigan. He's one of the top rushers in America in Michigan, right? So it's not always just on, because we had him. We were using him occasionally, and he didn't do anywhere near that good, right? So, and I go back, Tony Collins is a good point. This is probably the last real running back. You can argue Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson Jr., right? Justin Fowler. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that are overlooked, of course.
Well, I got to press pause. Josh Jacobs, absolutely, but Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, of course, but we're talking about somebody that's going to be consistent. We're talking about, if you're talking about like the old days, power running, Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't a power runner.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't effective. He was one of the most effective running backs we had, plain and simple. But yeah, go ahead.
Now we're going to get to the players of the game and how we like to do it here, folks. First of all, this voice, who you've chosen on offense and on defense. You only get one. If you want to have a special teams guy, go right ahead. But that's how we do things around here. Go ahead, Jonathan.
All right. So offense, man, like, it's hard for me, but I got to say the easy one's going to be Ty Simpson again, because at the end of the day, Ty Simpson did make some great throws and all that good stuff. I'm going to probably go, from what I saw in this game, with somebody different. I want to go with Caden Proctor. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I didn't see almost any pressure getting through Caden Proctor on that left-hand side. And to second that, Jaden Roberts.
Absolutely.
Those two I thought were really effective. Just from first glance, going back and watching all 22, I may tell you a different story. But from off the bat, I'll say that. In the defense, I'm going to have to go with the obvious one, guys. It's going to be Yonze Pierre.
Yeah.
I mean, his ability to get pressure on the QB at this point is unbelievable. I believe, according to PFF, he has the highest QB pressure rate in the country now. It's like around 28% or something like that. So he's extremely, extremely effective. So, yep, there's my offense. There's my defense.
Offense, I got to go with Lottie Brooks. He did a lot of things tonight, and he just continues to prove week after week just how damn good he is. He really reminds me of Jalen Waddle when I watch him. I'm waiting for him to have that breakout game where he just embarrasses entire secondaries. Still waiting on him to get his first touchdown of the season. How crazy is it that we're saying to this point, Lazare Brooks has yet to catch a touchdown?
I didn't realize that. I'll be honest with you. I did not realize that. So, yeah. Man, now you got me thinking. So, defensive?
Defensive, I'm going to go with my guy, the birthday boy, London Simmons. I mean, Yonze Pierre is definitely the obvious choice of everyone. There's no question about it. But London is the second most valuable player tonight. I absolutely love what I saw from him and what he continues to show each and every week. But I want to ask a question, Jonathan. What does it do for this defense when Quay Russaw comes back?
That's a big question to ask, because in my opinion, Yonze Pierre, he's more effective now in these past couple of games than Russaw was in the first couple. It's just my opinion. You never know what it's going to look like. Obviously, you want to be as deep as humanly possible when it comes to this defensive line. You're probably going to see a package where you're going to have Yonze Pierre and Russaw on the field at one time. That's what I'm going to assume is going to happen. I just don't know who you're going to take time away from, because, like Lynn already pointed out, Simmons may be in the contention as well for player of the game on the defense. It's hard for me to argue take away from London Simmons. London Simmons, when he's on the field, has done nothing but produce, right? So you're going to take away from James Smith? Are you going to take away from LT Overton? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're now starting to find a little bit of groove within this defensive line. Is it super, super effective? No. But when something is starting to work just a little bit, in my opinion, you can't mess with it when it looked terrible at the beginning of the year. So, yeah, no, I got you. And look, I want to give an honorable mention to Cuevas because look, he could be in the damn running for offensive player of the game, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
He came up with some key catches for first downs. So, you know what I mean? It's easy for us to point out all the negatives because as Alabama fans, our standards for our team, for the coaching staff and everything else is up here. And I don't want people to lose sight of that. We're not piling onto the team. We're just making sure that we still have standards for ourselves, for this team, for this coaching staff, and for everybody else out there. So even for the fans that show up and make noise, you know, Lynn goes to almost all the home games. I'm sure he can attest to, you know, it's been known that Bryant-Denny's not the loudest stadium out there, right? The fans tend to not show up sometimes and be loud.
They are now because they have to be.
Yeah, no doubt. So Don Parker with another $2 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Bama needs to put out.
Hey, 4 touchdowns in one game.
Oh my gosh,
the shoeless wonder. Hey, Mimi has a really good person here that we need to voice. Noah Carter.
Yeah,
he did a lot of great things. We wouldn't make him plays. He was around the play. This is a kid that we were wondering when was he going to get his opportunity, and each week he was being given more responsibilities on that defense, and he's been playing very well. Love what we saw from him tonight. He was in on some key plays. A good call there, RTR, Mimi.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously, let me see if there's anybody else in here. See here.
And talk about making clutch catches. Isaiah Horton's grab in the late part of the games. It was contested catch, and he wasn't going to release that. I know that LSU was wanting so badly for that to be an interception. No, man, that was all Isaiah Horton.
Yeah, no. You're talking about the one where the guy thought he intercepted the ball?
Yeah.
That catch. Now, granted, the throw was good. Throw was good, but the catch was more impressive than the throw, in my opinion. Obviously, sometimes it's just the way it works out. But talking about an impressive throw, in my opinion, I'm sure Coach Carl saw this, but the throw to Lottie Brooks over the middle, deep down the field, I think it was like a 35, 40-yard catch. He made it over the shoulder. Like, I get it. He didn't score a touchdown on it. But the way he had to adjust and catch the ball, I was like, okay, he threw it exactly where it needed to be, and only Lottie can get to it.
Insane body control, dude, for it to be a 18-year-old kid.
Yeah. I mean, the future is bright. And by the way, we had so much talent on the sideline. We're talking about recruits as well, by the way. We had, I believe, 8 5-stars or 10 5-stars on the sideline watching this game. One of the biggest games for recruiting in the past over 4 years. So that's how much talent was on the sideline watching these guys perform and win that game. So, yeah, it was definitely nice to come out there and get the win. Horton was phenomenal. Yeah. So, Don, the defense did tackle better tonight, but still much room for improvement. Exactly. And that's why we always critique. That's why we say, you know, here's the positives and the negatives. But at the end of the day, we did win, right? So, moving on, Jeff, if you want to move on to the next segment.
Absolutely. I feel like we've been answering the questions as we have gone, but there are a few that I have pinned, and I want to get to those for sure. I'm going to try to weed out the super chats we've already acknowledged. So, all right, CJ P23, what's up with the second half? Tell you what, brother, if you can find an answer, you're ahead of all of us because, as we already stated, it's a complete head scratcher. Just seeing what we put out in the field. Again, I go back to what was done in the off week. Kalen DeBoer has been known as one of the best coming off of a bye week in terms of preparation. Now, I get it. It's a different look LSU team because you have the interim coach and you have a guy they just picked up off of Craigslist that was at Florida State recently. Calling the plays.
Oh, that was low.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to be quiet now. I'll go ahead and put this up.
Keep going.
But no, the lack of preparation, it just really shook me. I know there's going to be a little bit of mystery because we didn't know what kind of LSU we would get. But as the game was going on, adjustments can make up for that, right? And yeah, it wasn't consistent.
No doubt. So, and Don Parker saying, why is Formby still starting at right tackle? I don't know. I'll tell you this much, man. I don't know enough about offensive line to even explain that. All I can tell you is Ryan Grubb, he was a coach specific. He did coach specifically, offensive lineman in the past. Clearly, I think that has more to do with experience than anything. We all want to believe Michael Carroll is great because Michael Carroll gets on the field for a specific situation. So, for example, run the ball. So Formby has his strengths, right, and his weaknesses, just like Carroll does. And unfortunately, Jantz pointed that out in a previous stream I was watching. Look, depending on the personnel that's on the field, these defenses know what's coming, right? So when Formby's on the field, it's most likely going to be a pass play. If Carroll's on the field, we're talking about the past couple of games, it was going to be a run play. So you have to get away with that. You have to stick with one guy, and that's just what it is. And I know a lot of people want to say, well, just go with Carroll because he's young and all that, and he may have more potential. But the thing about it is he is super inexperienced. And do you want a super inexperienced guy going against Oklahoma next week?
No.
Brent Middle's defense? Probably not. That's not going to look so impressive. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say Formby's just better and whatever, but all I can tell you is he's probably a great kid. Both of them are. And at the end of the day, I don't know enough about that to even speak on the offensive line.
And for all those who are trying to rush Keelan Russell to the field in the preseason, we tried to tell you guys, no, if he's not ready, you can't crush a kid by throwing him into a horrible situation and ruin him ultimately. And that could be said not just of quarterbacks, but other positions as well. Michael Carroll just hasn't quite got it just yet, but I feel like we're very close. And when he does, you're probably going to see him starting the rest of the way out whenever that should happen.
Yeah. At some point, we have to just trust the coaching staff to some extent. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Well, of course, we're going to, give our displeasure on here because it's easy because we're not making those calls and we're not getting paid millions of dollars to make those calls. So, yes, it's easy sitting behind a microphone and saying, why aren't you doing that when you have no idea what's going on, truly. So, but it's easy to criticize, right? So,
sure. We are safe behind this microphone and
exactly.
The All right, Big Country Bama Booger, who definitely wins the screen name of the week. Why, when we are inside the 25, we try trick plays? Can you go into the mind of Ryan Grubb for me real quick, Jonathan, and kind of explain this conundrum?
All right, guys. Here's the deal. No one's going to see us doing trick plays inside the red zone. You know why? Because we're just going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then the one time we don't do it, it's going to work. That's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I know to say. I don't understand it. We make, I don't know. The play calling is very suspect when it gets inside the red zone. It is effective as we are in the red zone. You know what I mean? I think we were around 98%. It's going to drop a little bit after tonight to like 95%. But man, it is strange how the play calling really does kind of flip on its head. And of course it has to. The field shrinks, it gets shorter, everything else. We already know that. So the play calling does have to adjust. But the inability to run the ball is why, by the way, our red zone offense, even though it is effective, doesn't look as effective. Because back in the day when you can run the ball, you could have that balance to where a team couldn't just bring 3 and drop 8. That's kind of what's going on. They're just kind of bringing 3 and dropping 8, knowing we already can't kind of run the ball. So that's not really much of a threat. So, but yeah, sorry for that.
I can't remember if we covered this one, Jonathan. Jason Haywood threw some money our way, $5. Thank you, Jason.
Yes.
During the spring, I heard a lot about the maulers on the offensive line, such as Matt Waldrop, Big Ola Salanine. Is it time to give them a look?
I'm not. Look, you've only lost 1 game this season. So I'm going to go probably not. Right. So if we're talking 3 games in, maybe, but I feel like we're already 3/4 of the way down with the season over that. Right. We got 3 realistic. Like I'm not talking down about who is it, Eastern Illinois or whoever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not talking down about him, but realistically, we have 2 games left in this season. Obviously, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and then we got Auburn. But realistically, like we know what we have in that rotation now, right? And we're winning with that rotation. Believe it or not, past the Florida State, we're winning games, and we're doing a pretty good damn consistent job of winning games, being inconsistent, right? So I don't know what's up with those guys, if they're big enough, if they can't get to the second level. I don't know. But and Tony Collins brings up a good point here that I want to bring up. Like, how bad is that Florida State loss now? I don't believe it's bad at all. And here's why I'm thinking it's not bad. Is it bad from a perspective of if we lose another game and maybe we have to defend ourselves to get in the playoffs? It looks bad, yes. But from a standpoint of it's the very first game of the season. We did not know what we had. Ty Simpson's very first start, right? Like it when it all comes down to it, I don't think it kills us or hurts us. Sorry, I know. Yeah, they get a little iffy and finicky on YouTube with saying certain words, but you guys get what I'm saying. So,
all right. Hey, I thank you for the money, CJP.
CJP, $5 super chat, appreciate it. Hey guys, we may be looking at 3-loss Bama team again. We can't score. I don't see us dropping Auburn and Oklahoma both. Could we drop one? I definitely see that.
Very possible.
I'll be completely honest with you. I am not looking forward to playing Oklahoma because by now Mateer is probably going to be way healthier. But the good news is it seems like we found a pass rush. The fact that we were having problems stopping the run and we didn't have a pass rush had me really worried. At least we found one of the two, right? So for the most part. So let's not mess that up and insert Quay Rousseau and take out Yanze Pierre.
No, don't do that.
Please let's not do that.
At all. I rebuke it.
And this is the comment of the night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry right here. This is my fault, Justin. This is the comment of the night. The Alabama team doesn't have the killer instinct needed to punish and finish teams. It can't be better said. As glad as I am we're winning games, we have no idea how to step on teams' throats and just
No,
finish
it kind of seems like we're satisfied with a lead and we don't just decide to put them away. It really feels that way.
Well, we can't run the ball. So teams can make us one-dimensional in a sense. They can slow us down at our own game.
But I don't feel like there's a sense of urgency. It's like they feel like we've already done enough and we'll find a way to kind of slither through, and that's enough.
Yeah.
I could be way off. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, and Ty Simpson Burner here says, don't look now, but pay attention to Auburn's record because even though they look like a brand new team tonight, I don't know what happened to Ashton Daniels from last week to this week.
Hugh Freeze left.
I guess because that dude went from 108 yards, couldn't throw the ball at all, to all of a sudden, hey, by the way, guys, if I would have started this season, I may be in the Heisman race.
Well, not only that, he realized that he has this guy named Cam Coleman, who's the absolute dude.
Yeah.
And he's finding him on the field.
Throw it up. That's all you got to do. That's the thing. You got to give him a chance. Don't hold the ball for 5 seconds, get sacked 18 times a game, and just throw the ball up. I think you'll be fine to Cam Coleman. As long as it's within 8 feet of him, I think he has a chance to come down with the ball.
Absolutely.
A really good chance of that. So,
can I go back to Mimi now? I feel like we rushed past her. Sorry, Mimi. It wasn't me. It was this other dude.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Mimi. You can blame me this time.
RTR Mimi. Defense was really good tonight. Also, did you guys see how great Jaden Roberts looked tonight? I absolutely did. He was driving guys into the ground. If he wasn't driving them into the ground, he was taking them to the bleachers. Looked like Michael Orr in The Blind Side. Really excited about what I saw from him. I've been begging for it for weeks. Keep him in. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought him and Caden, like I said, I go back and watch the All-22. I may have a different feeling in my stomach after watching. You get to watch it slower, play by play. But from watching the game initially, I'll be honest with you, I thought Jaden Roberts did a hell of a job tonight. You know what I mean? I didn't see any issues with Proctor on that left side for the most part. Look, when they're blitzing 7 guys or 6 guys and you only have 5 at the line, they're going to get to the quarterback. There's nothing you could do with that, right? So there was a couple of times where Jam got caught up. I keep saying this week after week. He gets caught up in pass pro and gets kind of either confused or he's too late to the block and he puts Ty Simpson in a really bad situation. I think that could be part of the reason why Ty is also forcing the ball a little bit. When you see these, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Carl, if you're still listening, when your quarterback is throwing the ball kind of low, it's him forcing the ball, right? So basically, essentially, he's just rushing to get that ball out there as quick as he can. And I think it had a lot to do with the pressure tonight because LSU, people don't give them enough credit. Blake Baker in that defense credit. They're inconsistent, but there's one thing they are consistent on. It's getting pressure on the quarterback. He does a good job of disguising blitzes and showing you stuff that you normally wouldn't see and all that great stuff. So Ty is trying to adjust protections against a guy that does a really good job of that on the defensive side of the ball. Unfortunately, next week you're about to face somebody that does it even better, which is Brent Venables in that defense. So you're probably going to see something very similar to where Ty's going to have to learn how to relax under that pressure a little bit more and stop throwing the ball into the ground or low or behind him a little bit, because it seems like he's forcing a lot of these throws like Coach Carl, me and him were texting earlier about. So any thoughts on that, Justin?
No, you're absolutely right. The only thing I would add is that when Ty starts to face pressure situations, he either holds the ball too long or he kind of loses his ability to, his pocket presence kind of breaks down. And there were times tonight where I saw him wide-eyed. That confidence that's normally there, that swagger that's usually associated with his play was not there at times, and that really surprised me, especially being at home.
Mimi, do you guys think we get some ashwagandha? I love it.
Some what?
Ashwagandha.
What's that?
Oh, man. So it's most people now take it in pill form. Ashwagandha is used for a lot of things, mental clarity and all that good stuff. Mimi, are you referring to Ryan Grubbs for ashwagandha, or are you talking about Ty Simpson? Because I'm assuming you're talking about one of those two. But yeah, and Tony Collins says Ryan Williams looked better. Love that spin. Yeah, so Ryan Williams, I do tend to criticize him a bit more than others, is because once again I kind of put expectations of him up here, even though it's probably unrealistic a little bit. So she said the gummies. I knew it came in pill form because I've seen the commercials for ashwagandha. I don't know. She said it could help them both. Great. Oh man.
Hey, wait a second. Tony Jones, we have a Formby supporter in the chat. Say what you want. Formby saved our butt on that fumble that ended up going to him.
He did.
Oh, that pass that was bad in the air.
Yeah. So no. Of course. That's why I'm saying, like, say what you want about Formby. He's out there playing his butt off. There's nothing else we can do other than just critique it from a football standpoint. But let's see here. Polk High legend, as the season goes on and teams scheme solely for Ty, he's going to have more pressure to make plays. I think that's already happened, though. That's the thing about it.
Is.
There's a reason why LSU brought the pressure they brought, and it was effective, right? So because LSU, but to be fair, guys, let's not forget something. LSU may be in disarray. They may be minus a head coach. They may be minus, Sloan was just fired right after Brian Kelly, their offense coordinator. Like, there's a lot going on. Nussmeier most likely still hurt, right, from the fall camp injury. I believe it was fall camp or spring, one of them where he got injured. There's a lot of things that went wrong. But at the end of the day, LSU's recruiting classes are right there with everybody else. They're with Alabama. They're with Georgia's. Right. There is talent on that sideline we're playing. So to beat them in general, I'm happy from that standpoint. We beat a team that is loaded with talent, amazing receivers, right? So LSU, we know, puts out amazing production from receivers every year to the NFL. They have DBs. They have a defense. Like Harold Perkins Jr. is a stud. That dude will be in the NFL playing for a very long time. And we beat those guys. So at the end of the day, I am proud that we won this game. We beat LSU, even though they're in disarray. It's just a matter of timing. There was a time when we went. Justin, don't get flashbacks. Mike Shula, Dennis Franchione, Price, all those years. You know what I mean? So in between,
hey, I was there through some of that. So don't give me non-flashbacks.
Yeah. So,
but I really don't remember a lot of Price because really he was there for 5 minutes and then gone.
Well, that's because he was in Panama City.
It's rolling, baby. It's rolling.
Throwing the money up.
I'll be your nasty dance.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. There's your clip, by the way. Mimi said PTSD.
That's it.
In Big Country said they had. Well, so did LSU.
So, yeah.
So was everybody that's played us, it seems like, this year. From, let's see here, South Carolina had a bye week, I believe, before they played us. Tennessee had a bye week before they played us. I know LSU had the bye week, plus we had the bye week. And there was another team I'm missing that had a bye week before. Oh, was it Georgia? Georgia, I believe was
Georgia did.
They had a bye week so everybody we're playing is coming off a bye week. So, I mean,
Oklahoma's got a bye week.
yeah, Oklahoma's on a bye week. We're about to play them in Bryant-Denny. So thank goodness that one's in Bryant-Denny, in my opinion. Yeah, but I can't wait to see what the line's going to be for that game when it opens up. And we'll see how critical we are then. But either way. Yeah, see, you know, exactly. A lot of people don't realize those little things like that until you dig into the details of, man, it seems like everybody we play is coming off a bye week. And that's LSU's almost always had a bye week before playing us.
Oh, yeah. We've always had a bye week before them. They've always had
Yep.
a bye week before us. So
Exactly.
tradition.
Tony Collins said we need to poach LSU's running back.
It has nothing to do with running backs. It has everything to do with the offensive line, which I think we really need to start looking very critically at Coach Kaplovic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak too much on that because, like I said, I don't know enough about it. I'll critique it more when I have more time. But yeah, exactly. Bye week on bye week on bye week. So if you notice, most of our fancy trick type plays are being sniffed out now. Yeah, because
It's not that hard to figure out.
the moment Bernard went behind center and Ty Simpson scooted to the left, everybody and their mother knew what was coming. They still couldn't stop it. It still was a first down that was thrown, but everybody knows it's coming now. So he's got to come up with more trick plays, I guess.
I'm just so glad we did not see any Caden Proctor plays tonight. Stop it. If you wanted to give him his touchdown, do it against Eastern Illinois. Right now, it's the most critical time for Alabama. He does not need to get hurt.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, when he ran, when he took off with the ball, when there was like 2.5 minutes left in the game, I was like, what are we doing? Why is Ty running the ball with 2.5 minutes left in this game and we're up 20-9?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? So Big Country said, do y'all feel like the starters have reached their peak? It's like the freshman and sophomore coming to violent. Now, peak, I won't say peak. I'll say that I think you've probably seen them as consistent as they're going to be because I don't know how much better you can be. We're already in week 11 going into week 12. How much more can you improve week to week, only having those limited practices and stuff coming up? I mean, I kind of think this is where we're at, folks. We don't have a good run game.
Yeah,
we're going to have to rely on Ty to win the games and a defense to step up when they need to and get turnovers.
I will say Justin Jefferson has improved week by week.
Yeah, I have to give him credit. Deontay Lawson is putting himself in better positions as well. So,
well, the thing with him, he needs to not just meet somebody in the hole, which he does. I'll give him credit. He is meeting people in the hole. He just needs to have bad intentions when he goes in that hole. And it looks like a lot of times that he is meeting them, grabbing them, and falling down instead of just driving them back.
Yeah. Yeah. And Paul Kyle Legend here says he watched Washington. So, yeah, he was there for 2 years, and they had one of the best running backs in the country, to be fair. And Blues name Dylan Johnson. Yeah, he was a stud. So, like, that's on a whole different ball game when we're talking about. But, yeah, it is a very similar style. And, guys, I'm going to keep stressing it again. This Ryan Grubb runs a totally different scheme, running style than we did last year. Last year was gap. This year is more zone, right? So it's supposed to be zone off tackle, but for some reason we tend to run down the middle, even though we can't run down the middle. Or sorry, we try to run down the middle when it seems we are not effective at running down the middle. So, but yeah, exactly. I mean, that means we can't let Ty get hurt. So, yeah, Bama players going off in that Texas, and you're going to see that. Earl Little went off against us. We played him. You know, he's at Florida State. He blasted Ryan Williams. I don't know if you guys know that when Ryan Williams got
look at
Earl Little.
Go to the South Carolina game. Justin Orokunwo did very well. Monkel Goodwine did very well. Yep. Absolutely, they were fired up. What's up, Kelly? You defeated the LSU voodoo. I think we were casting our own voodoo tonight, Jonathan. I don't think it's so much of LSU. And that's one thing that people brought up in the chat tonight is that they are acting as if we are overlooking the talent on LSU side of the field. No, we're not. They're very talented.
They are. Alabama
was beating Alabama tonight. It is plain and simple. We weren't getting out schemed. We weren't getting just out coached or anything like that. We just kept doing stuff to keep LSU in that game. In all reality, we should have wiped them off the field.
I'll be honest with you, and I know people don't like to hear this. We should have done the same thing with South Carolina, in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry, but this LSU team has they have more talent than South Carolina, right? So say what you will with your piece about trap games. I went off on Marvin, on our Wednesday live stream about it and said, I'm sick and tired of hearing about trap game this, trap game that. Look, just because you're favored over a team doesn't make it a trap game. It just makes it to a point to where, look, you can't look over anybody in the SEC. Florida State didn't just beat us. They drug us down the field like by the hair of our head, like they were an adult and we were a little kid. Spanked us is what happened. So
and we took it.
Yes, and we took it.
And
that's
we
the
liked
crazy
it.
part. Like, okay, it's getting weird, but
we didn't even have a dinner first. They just never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. But in all seriousness, so yes, if that happened against that team, Florida State, and we've seen what's happened this year. Look at what Kentucky they dismantled Florida tonight. They just didn't beat Florida. Kentucky just completely obliterated Florida. If Billy Napier wasn't already fired, you best believe getting beat 38-7 by Kentucky meant the end of your demise. That, like, plain and simple.
Tony Collins, you bring up a very good point. Hey, Auburn voodoo is a real thing too.
Oh, yeah.
There's something crazy about the Indian burial ground that is Jordan-Hare Stadium for sure. And if we're not on the top of our game, it could be interesting. Like we saw tonight, they played very inspired. Best offensive output we've seen the entire season. All it took was Hugh Freeze leaving.
Go Cats. Yeah. So, John, I don't know if you're a Kentucky fan or not, or just rooting for them to beat
BBN.
But sorry. Yes. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, would y'all put Rousseau at off-ball linebacker and keep Jan? I'm definitely not taking Janze off the ball. I hate to say it, but I'm definitely not. It depends on how Quay Rousseau looks. I'll be honest with you. We're so deep into this thing. We need Quay definitely as depth on the field. I just don't know with how effective LT Overton has been. James Smith has been at times playing 3 technique, and then you obviously have Janze coming off the edge. Now, the one thing I will say is this, guys. I'm a huge Janze guy, Janze supporter, but you best believe when we go against an O-line that's built to run the ball, Janze will become a liability. I'm sorry for saying that. The dude gets Peter rolled right off that line, right? So he can be turned sideways.
Always that guy. Always that guy.
I'm sorry.
We're riding high. Things are going good. You got to bring up stuff.
I'm just keeping it real with people. That's all I know how to do, man. But no, I definitely wouldn't take him off the ball until we face a team probably that can run the ball down our throats. So who that is, I don't know. I don't think it's Oklahoma. I don't think it's Eastern Illinois.
But we can address in our next segment, which we're drifting towards the end of the show, right? So we got to give our final thoughts. But before I do that, since everybody is here, next Tuesday night, Marvin Constant, sadly, is not going to be on the Bama Standard. Boo. So what does that mean? Do we close up shop? Did we just call it a loss and just wait to the post-game show? No, it does not. What do? We reach into our address book that is endless, folks. Endless. We go through several decades of Bama players, and we pull some of the best ones, and we bring them on here. And it's funny, Jonathan, we talking about the run game because I have not one but 2 former running backs that are going to be on with me and Sir Pettey of Daniel. One of which is going to be one of the panelists to fill in for Marvin. He's bigger than Marvin, actually. Don't tell Marvin I said that. But 1992 national champion running back Derek Lassick will fill in for the Honorable Mr. Constant this next Tuesday night.
Go ahead.
Wow. Hey, folks, I told you we had a new budget now. And we are delivering here at 11:10 in the PM after hours. It's about to get a little crazy.
No, Marvin is not gone for good.
No, actually, it's work related, folks. He is regrettably going to miss the show Tuesday night, so we got to pick up where he left off. So we found Mr. Lassick. But also, y'all have been asking, where's he at? Where's he at? Well, our guest next Tuesday night, we might as well go ahead and say he's a part of the panel because he's family. Currently, he is coaching at West Alabama. The illustrious Bo Scarborough will be back Tuesday nights on the Bama Standard to give his thoughts on what he saw at the game tonight and this run game and give us a little look-see about Oklahoma, which leads us to our final segment. Johnathan, final thoughts about the University of Alabama fighting the Boers.
The Black Hoodie of Death has won again. Keep it going. I love this dark side. I wish Kalen DeBoer would come out with a mask on, kind of like the SEC shorts, I believe, does it with Missouri, with like the Vader style mask.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I think about Kalen DeBoer now, to be honest with you. But no, in all seriousness, I expected us to win this game. I thought it was going to be a dogfight for the simple fact that Alabama tends to not know how to close out games the way we would want them to close out games from a fan standpoint. I saw slight improvement from some players, Dante Pierre and those guys getting at it. Do I wish some things would look better? Absolutely. Do I wish I would have saw Ty coming out being a little bit more effective? Absolutely. But it is what it is. We won. We've now only got one loss. We have no SEC losses. We're staying the course from that standpoint. I still think we have a lot of work to do if we want to win the national championship. The goal isn't to get just into the playoffs, but win the playoffs, right? So, yeah. Do I think we're a playoff team? Absolutely. I can't name 12 other teams that are better than Alabama, right? Not a total of 12 teams. I'm sorry. I do think we are a playoff team, as much as people may want to disagree with that. But at the end of the day, we won. Wasn't pretty. It was ugly, plain and simple. But look, I'm glad we won. Moving on to next week. Done talking about LSU. Now it's time to talk about Mateer, Venables defense, R. Mason Thomas. I mean, there are some real things to talk about next week, so it's going to be very interesting leading up to this game.
And Kenny will be back next week as well.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'm not going to rehearse what we've already said regarding this game. Going into this game, I've been saying every single day, Jonathan, I can't count the times I've said this to you, is I felt like LSU was going to play their best game tonight. Well, they really didn't offensively. I felt like that we were going to see something a little bit better because Brian Kelly was gone, and I felt that Nussmeier was going to play a little bit more free, a little bit more relaxed, and have some fun. I mean, my gosh, they also had receivers that are uber talented, but we got the same kind of product defensively. They were on point, and my gosh, what they would have looked like had Whit Weeks been in the lineup. Good gosh, that dude is a stud. But I just really disappointed on how we come off the bye week. And as I mentioned when we first started this show tonight, was disappointed in the fact that we had looked like a playoff team. We kind of look like the same product we've seen. I wanted to see that elevation, and I'm begging for it against Oklahoma because if you bumble in there kind of the same way, they will eat our lunch. But the thing about Oklahoma is if you watch them play, there are opportunities that they will give you to kind of demoralize them and then put them away. But if you don't, they fight back and they will hit you in the mouth. Against Tennessee, Tennessee had the opportunity to shut them down. They were in their heads, but they never could quite shoot them down. And in Tennessee fashion, or Joey Aguilar fashion, found ways to lose that game. I'm telling you, if we treat Oklahoma like we did LSU tonight, Oklahoma is going to beat us. I don't want to see it. And Jonathan, you're right. John Mateer's getting his swagger back.
He is.
You started to see it against Tennessee. I fully expect the John Mateer, a lot of folks had winning the Heisman, to come to Tuscaloosa next week. But we will see. They only have one wide receiver, but that defense of theirs is so nasty, they can make a game of this. But a win's a win. I'll take the win. It definitely beats the alternative. But I just got to see us take that next step and look like a playoff team.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Time to follow the cast, all two of us.
This is going to take a long time. Do you want me to start?
Yes, you can start. And
Honestly, see me here mainly on the post game show on the Bama Standard. Obviously, I'll be doing videos here and there with Justin and everybody else as well. Specifically, a lot of recruiting coming up, but also as well T-Town Media. Make sure to check us out over there as well. We're starting that up over 200 subscribers now at 2 weeks old and gaining steam. So any support over there at T-Town Media would be much appreciated. And then on X, I'll be at T-Town Media 25.
Awesome. Hey, you get to have a double dose of Marvin Constant losing his mind about Alabama's defense. Not just on our show Tuesday night, but on their show on Wednesday night. So if y'all want a double dose of Mr. Constant, you don't have to pay extra. Normally that would be a premium membership somewhere. Not for you, the fans, you get for free. But hey, follow the Bama Standard on all social media. All you got to do is type in at the Bama Standard, and you're right there. And we're on TikTok as well, doing some great things. Also, want to remind everyone, shout out to Jesse Williams, who's having a rough go of it. Continue to keep him in your prayers. His heart function is now operating between 15 and 20%, and he's awaiting to see a specialist to try to figure things out. And he's not going down without a fight. He's still working out. He's doing jiu-jitsu. And if anybody's going to beat any kind of health-related concern, it's going to be him. The man already beat cancer. So I fully believe he can whip this. But, yes, continue to keep him in your prayers. And you heard what we have coming up this week. Jonathan's got his show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central.
So we're going to start tomorrow. So Sunday and Wednesday night, we go live at 6 p.m. Central now. We adjusted both of them to keep it more consistent. Sunday night is going to be SEC Roundtable. That's where we talk all SEC football with a bunch of different content creators regarding SEC. And then Wednesday night show is me, Coach Carl, and Marvin Constant talking Alabama football, and let Marvin kind of do his thing. And I just
also remind everyone, if you want to continue to relive some of the negatives and positives of tonight, jump on Teague's Take Monday night. They're going to have some film to show you a little bit more than what we were able to talk to you about, and they're good. Trust me. That's at 8:15 p.m. Central. George Teague and his son JT will be exposing everything. And then again, Tuesday night, you already heard the lineup that's coming up. It's pretty awesome. But hey, thank you to everyone who hung out with us tonight to celebrate an Alabama victory. Thank you for the super chats. Again, we never asked for those, but we're very grateful when you decide to give of your money and your time to us. Well, Jonathan, it was a great show. It was just the two of us.
It went over an hour. And yes, definitely shout out to the men's basketball team beating St. John's today. So this team's looking for real all of a sudden. Sorry. That's my last.
The Baron Philon is him. That's all I'm going to say.
Dude.
But yes, folks.
Let's check it out.
Say that again, sir. As I
interrupted you. I said I'll let you take us off.
Hey, thank you to everyone. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you're over on Twitter X. Come over to our YouTube channel, the Bama Standard Network. Hit like and subscribe, and definitely go over to T-Town Media's YouTube channel. Hit subscribe and see what they got going on over there. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Roll Tide, everyone.
Roll down Tide.
That's what I was waiting on.